Hi partakers, it's such an honor to be able to have lived up to this particular Sunday where we're going to have another episode of the Your Take Show. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for tuning into Magic One TV, and specifically my particular show where we just look to enhance our health using our nutrition. We look to finding better ways to feed ourselves and promote our health generally, and after that we'll get happier, right? So on the show today I would like to start us off with our food throne, but before that let me let you know how you can connect with me even as we go through the show, just so that you can send in your inquiries and your feedback. It's a two-way thing, so let me let you know in a few. So on YouTube, my channel name is Amanda Tweva the Dash Nutritionist. On Facebook, the page name is Amanda Tweva the Dash Nutritionist. On Instagram, my handle is Food Witness. And then also, if you are a person that is, more of WhatsApp, then you'll find me on the number 0782 152610. I do have a blog as well. You can get to read those food blogs. The blog name, not channel name, the blog name is amandatwevaze.blogspot.com. That should tell you, for you that has just tuned into this particular show for the very first time, that my name is Amanda. I am a nutritionist and I'm very excited to host you on the show today. So on the food front today, we are discussing Enkejje. We have talked about mukene before on this particular show, but also we do have a very similar fish called Enkejje. And it's very popular here in Uganda, so it's very important that we do discuss it. How nutritious is it, and where can we apply it? What are the nutrients that we'll actually be getting out of this Enkejje fish? Well, Enkejje is very, very similar, even in nutrient composition, to mukene or silverfish, and so you definitely are going to have protein, great quality protein coming out of this Enkejje fish, and that's why it's important, even for you that's muscle building, for those that have lost a lot of weight, those that have weak muscles. You might want to incorporate better protein, and Enkejje is one of the ways to do that. The fact that we eat Enkejje whole, just like the way we do for mukene, we eat its head, we eat the bones, we eat the tail, we eat practically everything. So Enkejje becomes a very good source of calcium, which is very important for our bones, and also phosphorus, very important for our bones. So if you're looking to have stronger bones, if you want to avoid yourself getting, bone diseases and health conditions, then please have Enkejje in your diet. Now, it's also particularly very nutritious because it has a lot of minerals in it. These include things like selenium. These also include actually vitamins like vitamin A and vitamin E. You also have calcium, like we said. You have phosphorus, and zinc also. So definitely you have all a vast array of micronutrients that your body actually needs. So you have your enzymes working better, you have all your body processes being stimulated or triggered to actually function as they're supposed to. And so Enkejje is really a beneficial food. I would also really recommend that for your children, please give them Enkejje as well. We usually do it in powder form. Very important because of those particular, there's so many minerals in it, there's so many vitamins in it. At the same time, you're giving them enough protein in their body system. So please include Enkejje in your diet as well. Don't forget to give it to your kids as well. Okay, let's get into our discussion room now. Starting us off in the discussion room is Irene Leah Nudge. If you're wondering what's this discussion room and you've just tuned in for the very first time, the discussion room is where we discuss nutrition questions that are sent in by you. That's why I actually let you know of the social media platforms you can actually connect with me on earlier on. And we, basically discuss those questions. The Facebook page has the detailed responses for these questions because we don't have so much time on the channel. But here we really get to discuss the lessons that we are learning. What are the nutrition lessons or health lessons we are learning from the questions you ask? So back to Irene's question. She says, is Fat Nile good for weight loss? Fat Nile is a supplement, that has been touted to enhance weight loss, make weight loss happen much faster. And I'm not here to be, shaming brand names or to be calling names out of particular brands, but what I would like to tell you, or what I would want for us to learn, is if you're looking out for supplements, let's look out for those that, if it's going to be a supplement, it has to have extra power, right? It has to be so much more potent than food is. So that means it should have most of its ingredients catering to weight loss. So it should have a lot of its ingredients being actively involved in the weight loss process, not just there to, you know, support and support and support. It should actually be actively involved in the weight loss process. So if you're looking out for supplements, make sure that all the ingredients, or at least more than 3 of them, you know, are actively involved in the weight loss process. Akelo Amelia is our second asker or partaker. We like to call ourselves partakers of health on this show, and she asks, can you guide me on what foods to eat to balance my hormones? Yeah, there are so many foods that are very crucial for hormone, you know, health. That includes fiber, that includes, you know, omega-3 oils, and we've put that down on the Facebook page. You'll get to see some of the examples. But I want us to also note that as much as we are looking out for hormone health, and there are so many natural foods that support these hormones, we must be very careful when it comes to our herbs. We also must be very careful when we're using essential oils for these hormones, because sometimes, or some of these, can disrupt hormone you know, activity, and you know, just or how they are regulated in our body systems, and so that becomes a downside for our bodies. So you must be very careful. Yes, use these herbs. I know we've talked about ginger being good, you know, rosemary being good, lavender being good, but it's also very important to use them moderately, especially if you know you have a hormonal, you know, irregularity or imbalance, because some of these can actually disrupt hormone health. So please be very careful. Utilize all the other food groups, but when it comes to herbs and your essential oils, do it on a very low-key style. Mubangizi is asking, as our third partaker, he says, what Ugandan foods cause weight gain? I think this is an important question, because normally when we are discussing health, we look at health as a global thing, you know, from a global angle. We look at health mostly from the American angle. Most of the literature you'll see online will be, you know, things that are found in America and California and the UK, and then you wonder, okay, but they're talking about herring fish, and we don't have herring fish down here in Kampala. So what are they talking about? So it's important that we make health as practical as possible. We make nutrition as practical as possible, and that's why I like Mubangizi's question, where he was asking what Ugandan foods actually cause weight gain. So we tend to do a lot of highly refined wheat products. So if we're looking at what has been causing weight gain, you know, just by trying to analyze our food trends, then we might also be finding that highly refined starchy foods have actually been causing a lot of this weight gain. That includes things like our chapatis, our mandazi. I mean, people just chew on those things any time of day, and they'll chew more than one, and they are really huge as well. They have added sugar. So highly refined starchy foods are one major cause of weight gain, but also high sugar content foods are another cause. And you know, high fat foods, we tend to love our meat with a lot of masavu. We want the part that has the biggest masavu, and yet, you know, that's going to definitely tend to weight gain. So let's also tone those down so that we can have much healthier weights. Thank you, Mubangizi, for asking. Okay, so our second last question or partaker is Nadia, and Nadia asks, I am 2 months pregnant. Since I conceived, I have had diarrhea no matter what I eat. I feel exhausted because of it, but the doctors say they will give me medication when I'm 4 months pregnant. Is there anything you can recommend? Well, I would also, you know, just like the doctors are being very careful, the first trimester of pregnancy is a very delicate stage. At that point, you know, the risk of losing the pregnancy is quite high, and so you have to be really careful about how you treat yourself during that time. And so I definitely am also going to join the bandwagon of the doctors and say, let's not do much for it right now. But some of the things that you might want to do nutritionally is definitely keep yourself very well hydrated, because you're losing a lot of fluid, and that's not good for pregnancy. And then also try and incorporate more high starch foods. So let your vegetables be the starchy vegetables. Choose the starchy vegetables as opposed to, you know, those that are fibrous or have, you know, cruciferous vegetables. We're looking at things like pumpkin. We're looking at things like, you know, squash. We're looking at things like probably turnips, yes, so look out for more starchy vegetables and also high starchy foods. So your cassava, your sweet potatoes, posho are really important right now. Your millet is really important right now, so that it can get your stool to be a little heavier, and you might find that your diarrhea situation improves. Also, there are very few herbs and spices that we actually do recommend during pregnancy, because not most of them are safe, but cardamom is one that you might want to try and help settle your stomach, so that the diarrhea is also on the low. I would also recommend you do a lot of gel-like foods, so things like okra sauce might be really helpful as well, just to settle your stomach also and keep it much more relieved. So try those out as we wait until you can actually take medication, or maybe it will actually get better even without you needing to take medication. So try those out and let's see how that works for you. The last partaker today is Jocelyn, and Jocelyn says, I have a 7-month baby, but he has a heart problem. Kindly advise as a nutritionist on what food to feed him, because he's very small and I want him to gain weight. I'm so grateful for a mother like you, Jocelyn, because you are actually going the extra mile to support your child and love your child in the best way possible. So thank you so much for that. I would definitely, as a nutritionist, because children with heart problems generally are using more energy than they should to be able to pump blood, so their hearts are working really hard as compared to another child or the average child. So you're trying to get foods that will not make him or her use so much energy, because he needs to reserve as much energy as he can to gain some weight, to do the work of the body processes that actually need energy. So that is why I would recommend, I have put some of the foods that you can try down on the Facebook page, but here I would like to recommend that you make eating as simple as possible for your child. Make it as even the foods that he's eating, let them be as simple as possible that you can do. So you're looking out for more liquid and more fluid diets. You're looking out for porridges, things that will not be so, like, they will not need too much energy to utilize or to eat up. So yeah, that's what I would recommend. Thank you so much, partakers, for asking your questions this week. We are totally blessed to have learned from you. Let's go into our take of the week. Our take of the week is coming in from a man named Kwesiga Ivan Dwayne. He was responding to a question posed on the Facebook page that asked what changes about your eating when you're overly stressed for a long period of time. Because let's face it, when stress kicks, especially if it's chronic stress or for a long time that we are under stress, usually a bit of our lifestyle will change, and one of those things that changes fast usually for many people is eating. And that's why it's very important to have a stress management strategy or mechanism that you actually use in your life. So for Ivan, he says, when I'm overly stressed, my anxiety levels are high, I have less appetite for food. So you can imagine how stress doesn't just affect your mind, it affects so many other scopes of your lifestyle, it affects so many other scopes of your life and health at the end of the day. And so it's something that we really need to look into at an individual basis. Be as realistic as possible with yourself and find out what you can do to just help you handle stress better. It's about really how there's stress everywhere, but what your perception of the situation is like is what will help you conquer it and just get better. So that's about it from our take of the week. I'm going to leave you with a wellness quote. I love you that much. I need to leave you with a gift that will take you through the week until I see you next Sunday. So our wellness quote comes in from Dr. Edward Group III, and it says, by cleansing your body on a regular basis and eliminating as many toxins as possible from your environment, your body can begin to heal itself, it can begin to prevent disease, it can begin to become stronger and more resilient than you ever dreamed possible. So look at that very cheap way or method of making sure that you are stronger, more resilient, you prevent disease. Who wants to be sick? Who wants to be in pain? No one, right? And there's a very cheap option available. That is, just make sure that you are reducing the toxins that you're exposing yourself to as much as you can. So people burning rubbish and there's smoke coming to your end, try and work on that. So, exposing yourself to chemicals maybe from, let's say, deodorants, from artificial, highly processed foods. Just reduce the toxins that are around you, and you'll find that you have gone a huge step in making sure that your health is much better, that your digestive system is much better, that your nutrition is better. So it's just one simple task. Avoid exposure to as much toxin as you can, and cleanse your body on a regular basis. So, make sure you have a mind cleanse. You might want to go and see a counselor. You might want to take a trip or a vacation to just cool off and let loose. Cleanse your body, your internal system, by maybe doing a detox, a 1 or 2 day detox. Eat foods that actually help us to clean up our body systems once in a while, like practically a lot of vegetables and fiber. Just try and cleanse yourself, try and cleanse your body, do exercises that will make you sweat it out and let toxin again come out. So just simple steps really, and you'll find that you're doing a whole lot without using a lot of money to actually make yourself healthier, to help yourself heal yourself, to help yourself get stronger, that you don't need to run to medicine all the time. Your body is actually strong to fight off disease. So that's our wellness quote. I needed that water break. So now we end the show. I'm so glad we got to spend this time together. I don't know how many minutes, but yes, we got to spend some time together doing some really important things. I'm so grateful for you. I hope you are for me as well. Let's connect way beyond the Your Take Show. There's a lot more we can discuss. There's a lot more I can get to know about you, and for you to also learn from me. So head down to my socials. I'll say them again. On WhatsApp, the number is 0782152610. On Instagram, my handle is Food Witness. On Facebook, the page name is Amanda Twebaze-Nutritionist. And on YouTube, you can get me on Amanda Twebaze-Nutritionist. Remember that wellness is an adventure. Thank you so much to Davis, my cameraman. Thank you so much to, Mr. Calvin, my top boss, whose commands you have to follow, that actually does make sure that this show comes to you every single Sunday and Monday. We are blessed to, just have Magic One TV among us. And yeah, I'll see you next Sunday. Until then, bye.